All right, first thing, putting injectors in. We're gonna lube up our O-ring. A little dab will do you don't need much. Just something to help it slide in. All right, make sure you have a new copper washer. If you don't have one, it'll definitely leak. If you have an old one, it'll probably leak, so I'd rather not. This hole in your injector is your feed hole. So that needs to point towards wherever your injector is going to be coming into the cylinders. So it's gonna be pointing towards this side. And most of the time you can get this to slide in just with your thumbs. Okay, so when you push it down, you should hear an audible snap when the O-ring snaps into place. So if you don't hear it, you probably didn't get it into place. So you kind of push down. I already got it, sorry. You guys didn't get the snap, I apologize. It's already in, like butter. All right. So now there's a torque sequence we're gonna have to go through. We'll kind of walk through it as we do it. We're going to seat the injectors down, back it off, put our feed tubes in, torque it a little bit. We're going to torque down our injectors, and then we're gonna torque down our feed tubes. Next step on our injector install. We popped them in, we made sure we had a copper washer. The next step is gonna be, we're gonna seat the injector. So we seat the injector by pulling our bolts down to 44 inch-pounds. But what I like to do is when you start feeling resistance, kind of work your way back and forth. So we'll do like, 20, 30, 40, but you kind of want to just work it back and forth to seat it. We're 44. Once you have that, we're actually gonna back these off because when we're setting the tubes, we want these to be able to move, but we want to be seated all the way in the bore. So all this is doing is seating the injector all the way down in the bore. Now we're gonna back these bolts off and get them, nice and loose, not crazy loose, but nice and loose. So when we put our feed tubes in, we can easily kind of wiggle the injector back and forth and get that feed tube to seat in there. Okay, next step on this injector install. These are new feed tubes. I always recommend new feed tubes when you're doing new injectors, especially if you're doing really expensive ones. So we lubed up the O-ring, like you lube up every other O-ring. You'll notice that we have a couple little guide pins, little ball bearings on here. These ball bearings are gonna align with a channel inside of this tube. So you're just gonna kind of feel it out and slowly put it in. Just like the injectors, you're gonna feel the O-ring bite when you're putting it in, so just be careful. So another thing that's kind of cool is you might hear about knocking out edge filters, or edge filters are gonna rob your power. So I just wanted to show you guys what an edge filter is. Edge filters, I always recommend running them. They don't impact power. Fire Punk's done tests on this. But you can see the edge filter right in the end there. Hopefully you guys can see that. But you see that silver thing in the middle, that's your edge filter. So you can knock them out of here, but there's really no reason to do it. It's not gonna give you anything, it's only risk. So this is kind of your last line of defense from your very, very expensive injectors getting screwed up. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna kind of slide it in. We're gonna put the little ball bearings towards the top, slide it in. Then you hear that very satisfying pop. That pop means you're in. So an easy way you can tell if you got it in all the way is just rotate your injector, and it shouldn't be able to spin all the way around because this seats into the body of the injector. So now we know we're in good. And I always kind of try and get this aligned best as possible. So like you can see, it's kind of off alignment here, and then we're on alignment there. So we're good to go. So the next thing is our nuts. So we have some stainless nuts from Fleece we're gonna be putting on this, and then we'll go through the rest of our torque sequence. Look, I am taking this very fancy stainless steel Fleece nut, and all we're gonna do is just screw it in. I'm just screwing it in loose for now, but the next step of this process is going to be to take the injector tubes to a very light torque. So we're gonna take it to 11 foot-pounds. Then I'm going to seat the injector for the last time, and then we'll come back and we'll torque these, final torque. Next step when we're doing our injector install is now we're gonna do the final torque on our injectors. So we're gonna take these guys to 89 inch-pounds. The way I like to do this is in a ton of equal steps. So I'll take, a couple of turns on each side over and over and over because I want this injector to go down as evenly as possible. So I'll go back and forth, just to make sure We're torquing this thing down even. I do not want it crooked in the tube. So, in my opinion, this step is crucial to making sure your injector tubes don't leak. So you want to just bring them down equal steps. I do about 10 inch-pounds on each side. And we'll slowly work our way up to our 89 inch-pounds. This torque wrench gets real angry as you get close. There we go. 88, 89 inch-pounds. Last step on your injector install journey is going to be installing these. If you got the fancy ones, these are the fleece stainless steel nuts. Honestly, it doesn't matter. You don't need to replace them. I just wanted it to match all the other shiny crap. So we're going to take these guys to 44 foot-pounds. And I will say 44 foot-pounds feels a little scary when you're torquing these, but that's exactly where you need to go. So just go down nice and slow until you get to your torque value. Getting there, getting there, getting there. We hit 44, and we are done. Injectors are in, they're sealed. Last piece is gonna be wiring them up. Just wire them up color to color, the same way as you took the other ones out. And then you should be good to go.